road cycling during that era has a cloud of suspicion hanging over them. One of the reasons I wrote this book is to acknowledge the part that I played in the creation of that cloud and to document the things I have done since in an effort to make amends. Prologue. One of the first things you'll see heading west from my parents' house at the top of a hill in suburban Denver is the enormous outcrop of Mount Evans. Every ride to school in my dad's orange Volvo station wagon and every training ride I did as a child started with me staring straight up at this huge mountain. It's an imposing and beautiful view to see every day. It gave me purpose, gave me motivation, and even as a kid filled my heart with the spirit of the high mountains. It's a gorgeous mountain to look at from the top of that little hill by Mom and Dad's house. In winter, it's a massive snow-covered giant staring back at you. In the summer, it embodies the purple mountain majesties of Catherine Lee Bates' song, America the Beautiful. At 14,265 feet tall, it is one of Colorado's highest mountains and very much the most visible from the city of Denver. What makes it special, particularly to bike racers, is that it has a paved road all the way to the top. It's the highest paved road in North America and one of the highest paved roads in the world. Every kid in Colorado who's raced a bike dreams about winning the legendary race up Mount Evans. But the lure of the race isn't just about winning, but also about setting the record up the old lady. For a cycling-mad teenager, owning the record up Mount Evans is like holding the key to immortality. At 14,000 feet, nature moves fast. If you want the record, God needs to smile on you. The winds must be just right, the weather just stable enough. To set the record, you have to never let up on the pace, yet also keep a close eye on your competition, as they may sit behind you on the shallow gradients, waiting to win and unconcerned with the record. Bob Cook, a Colorado native, and a peer to three-time Tour de France winner Greg LeMond, was not only a world-class cyclist, but also a world-class academic and engineer. Bob won the Mount Evans hill climb time after time in the 1970s and 80s, but then, just after graduating from university, was diagnosed with a brain tumor and passed away. From there on, the race was named the Bob Cook Memorial. I won Mount Evans for the first time as a 14-year-old. It was a technical victory, as I was racing older kids and finished fifth, but the four kids in front of me were all 17 or 18 years old. Our race only went halfway to the top, so we got to watch the professional riders come past on their trudge upward into the thin, rarefied air. I so wanted to be one of them. I thought maybe Bob Cook was my spirit mentor. I wanted to be just like him. I became absolutely obsessed with Mount Evans after that victory. I wanted to become one of the legends to conquer that mountain. I wanted to be king. That was how I started a 15-year journey of trying to break the record up Mount Evans. The record became my Moby Dick, reminding me of Ahab and Anguish, stretched together in one hammock. I chased it to the point of insanity many times. When it easily should have been mine, somehow it would slip away. After failing, I would stare at the mountain all year waiting for another chance to claim the record. I drilled holes in my bike, sought out a lighter option for every component on the bike, tried experimental diets, spent weeks at extremely high altitude training. Now in 2019, that's all standard stuff. However, in the early 1990s, it was seen as lunacy and obsessive. Indeed, I was obsessed. My first real crack at the record was in 1992. The year before, as a 17-year-old, I'd finished fifth in the professional race, so I figured with a year more of adolescent growth under my belt, I'd be ready to compete for the win. I asked my team to be let out of the normal race schedule so that I could go train in Leadville at 10,000 feet. They begrudgingly granted me permission to go and become a crazed hermit in the old mining town for a month. I trained harder than I ever had, adopted a low-carbohydrate diet in pursuit of losing a few pounds. I risked getting kicked off my team by replacing all the sponsor-friendly parts on my bike with the absolute lightest components I could find. The final product was a bike that was so light it would nowadays blow a hole in the UCI's weight regulations. It really didn't have brakes that exactly worked. All the bolts were titanium or aluminum, and anything that could be stripped off was. I didn't use handlebar tape, the saddle had no padding, and the seat post weighed next to nothing. I weighed 128 pounds. My bike didn't add much to that, and I had spent a month breathing air with little oxygen.